Okay, so it came to my attention when I was doing a hit for the John Mark Show, Philly, which you can watch on YouTube Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Very good program. But I was doing my weekly hit there, and I did it on Friday, and he let me know that I was ripped apart for my Andrew Painter take. And if you're forgetting about my Andrew Painter take, I will put a tab in the upper corner somewhere. But essentially, it's the fact that the Phillies have babied this kid. They've coddled him. It's almost 23 months since he had surgery. Let's go. And John told me that I was, I guess The Good Fight wrote an article saying that I was a hot take artist. I was just throwing hot takes out there left and right. So let me just clear up the record for that. Every dumb statement that I have ever made, whether it be on this channel or on the air, I have 100% believed in the time. Because I hate hot take artists. I think Elliott Shore Parks is an embarrassment to our industry. I think Spike Eskin doing the first take model of you take a side, I take a side, let's debate. I think that's embarrassing. I think we all know who the hot take guys are in the city. And they're the worst. They're the kind that are like, oh yeah, okay, well, Jason Kelce was really good, but Cam Jurgens is going to be better. And you're like, it's like that kind of hot take where maybe there's a world where that happens, but you're talking about a former. I digress. So I loathe hot take artists. And if you ever disagree with what I say, just know I believe it. I'm clearly not doing it for clicks, and I'm not getting a lot because I just started the channel a month ago. But I think that's one of the problems with society is anytime somebody says something that goes against the grain, immediately it's like, oh, it's a hot take. And it's not always the case. I think the Phillies are in a really, really good situation where because they are the best team in baseball, or they have the second best record, I mean, they have a game in hand. And I'm recording this before Friday's game. But because they have the best record in baseball, or they're one of the best teams in baseball, you have a sect of the fan base that does not want to hear any criticism from them. No criticism about the Philadelphia Phillies will be tolerated because they are really good. So they don't want to hear the fact that the bullpen's meh. They don't want to hear the fact that the left field position is still, after years, giant question mark. And they certainly don't want to hear about the organization's handling of a 23-year-old top prospect because they feel like you're nitpicking. And in a way, yeah, I am. It's like, in a way, you're kind of looking for web toes on Margot Robbie. But on the other hand, it does piss me off. It does annoy me. So when you've got a team that's that good, nobody wants to hear criticism. They hear criticism. It's like, oh, it's a hot take. It's a hot take. No, it's not. Let me clarify for the record my Andrew Painter take. I guess I didn't do it well the first time, which led to this article that I didn't even know existed because I've muted all notifications on Twitter. Let me tell you, folks, ignorance is bliss. It's great. I'm not dealing with, baseball podcasts that just want to spew hate my way. It's awesome. So I don't want Andrew Painter. I don't expect Andrew Painter to be pitching for this current club because there's no room for him. They currently have 6 starting pitchers. They set themselves up for that. They did that to themselves. They signed Aaron Nola to that 7-year contract, which I was completely against. They signed Taijuan Walker to a 4-year deal, which I liked. But they set themselves up and they did not see the forest through the trees in a lot of ways and see the future coming. Do you blame them for that? I guess not because, top prospects flame out all the time and we could all name the litany of former top pitching prospects that did not pan out, that whether they hit AA, AAA, or the majors, they flamed out. So could you bank on Andrew Painter, who at the time had just been drafted to be the guy? No, I guess not, to be fair. But it reminded me a little bit of when the Phillies signed Jim Thome to that massive contract, and they had Ryan Howard in Lakewood, hit 21 home runs that year. That was a short season. And it was okay, maybe this kid's coming. But once again, you can't bank on that, right? So, fine, okay. But the Phillies did put themselves in the position, and now they have an embarrassment of riches. I'm not saying the Spencer Strider comment about the fact that Spencer Strider had Tommy John surgery 13 months ago, whatever it was. He's back. I'm not saying that because I expect Andrew Painter to be pitching with this major league club. I don't. And I've said that time and time again, that I don't think Andrew Painter, when push comes to shove, when the games matter most, i.e. October, I think he would have already been shut down. That's my problem. It's not that he's not pitching in Philly. I'm not clamoring to see Andrew Painter in a Phillies uniform. Because if I see Andrew Painter in a Phillies uniform, that means Zach Wheeler went down, Christopher Sanchez went down, Ranger Suarez went down, Jesus Luzardo went down. Like, I don't need to see him. But at the same time, to have this kid on a pitch count 22, 23 months after Tommy John surgery is absurd. It is the definition of coddling, of trying too hard. You're treating him like a Fabergé egg, and you're doing it because he's a top prospect. If Andrew Painter was a 15th round draft pick from Brigham Young, who was pitching with the Clearwater Threshers, and he had Tommy John surgery a year ago, he wouldn't be on a pitch count. He'd be pitching. They'd say, go get him. And my big gripe with this is the fact, and I use this as my best example, when the Nationals had Steven Strasburg, they did the same thing. They were so worried about ruining him and about his arm falling off, just like, whoop, there goes my arm, that we all remember. They had him on an innings limit and a pitch count, and then all of a sudden, when the games mattered most, they didn't use him, and they missed the playoffs. And Jason Wirth, former Philly, is on record as saying he was fine. He was throwing every day. He could pitch. We just weren't doing it because we were treating him like a Fabergé egg, and the Phillies are doing the same thing with Andrew Painter. Again, I'm not mad at the Phillies for not bringing him up because where are you going to put him? You're not going to pitch him out of the bullpen. He's a starting pitcher. I would consider pitching him in October out of the bullpen in high leverage situations, but to be clear, that's my gripe. My gripe is I don't know if you know, its pitch count's up to like 85 now. Tommy John used to be a 1-year surgery, and the Phillies found a way to turn it into 3 or 2.5 because they kicked the can down the road on him even having surgery. And then he finally did, and now it's, going on 2.5 years. And I will remind everybody out there, including Smarty Jones or whoever wrote the article, the Phillies let this kid pitch in the Arizona Fall League. In October, November, when they host the Arizona Fall League, he was fine to pitch then. Fast forward to March, to spring training, the Phillies went, no. Back up. He's not pitching in spring training. And then he starts pitching in the minors, and he's at a 35-pitch pitch count. Make it make sense. They are so worried about messing this up that they're messing it up. Just treat him like everybody else. He's fine. Let him pitch. No pitch count. Don't pull him after 4 innings because he hit 85 pitches. Let him go another one. Let him pitch. Let him be great. That's my issue. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You can hit the button to subscribe. That would be cool. Like, dislike, argue with a wall for all I care. You're not changing my opinion on it. I'm sorry. I'm always going to think that this is the definition of babying a kid because we're going on 2 full years after he had the surgery and he's still on a pitch count. So, yeah, that's where I stand. But, hey, go Phillies.